All right, well, we got our first surprise of the NFL draft and also first film study I'm posting. Not the last. I have over 35 film studies ready to post this weekend, so that'll be fun. Derek Stingley to the Texans. I'm going to talk about the player in just a second. I like this fit. I really do. I think that this makes sense. I think that they could use a corner. Sauce Gardner might have been a better fit. That kind of feels like the more natural option. I did have Gardner as my second-rated player, but I like Stingley a lot as well. I think he is a talent worth taking number 3 overall. And the reality is, in the NFL, getting a number 3, getting an elite corner, that has a lot of value. So let me get into the player itself, and then I'll talk about the fit a little bit at the end of this video. All right, let's start off with this play. What's going to happen here is you see where Derek Stingley is on the field. He is the one who I have circled in white. His zone is the one that is in white. And you see that there is a player who's going to be just running out to the flat. And that's what I want to talk about is his tackling ability. He is absolutely someone who can go up and make a tackle. I mean, watch him this is just going to be a great play by Derek Stingley to run up and be able to make that quick tackle. Now, it should be mentioned that he will miss some tackles as well. It's not like he only hits, but when he does hit, he can make them very impressive. So that's kind of cool to see. You like that there is that trait that he has, that he can run up, and when he times it right, can do very well. Anyways, going over here to coverage, let's talk about coverage for a second. That's kind of what people care about more when talking about corners, and for good reason. What you're going to see here on this play is, so I've circled Stingley right there. It's going to be a one-on-one matchup, and watch what's going to happen. As you see, the receiver who he's going up against is going to, start to cut towards the inside, which then brings Stingley also into the over to the inside like that. Now the receiver is going to try to just run by him, but it's going to be difficult to do when you're going up against Stingley, right? You got kind of the leverage you want if you want that outside leverage, but this is where speed really comes into play. As you see, Stingley has the speed to get back and stay with him, and also has the footwork to stay with him at all times. Eventually, there was a small amount of separation just because the play went on for so long, but, I mean, Stingley did a great job on that play, really shutting that play down the entire time, and that's what he can do. I should mention as well, everything we're seeing here is 2019 tape. This is not 2021 tape. We'll get into some 2021 tape a little bit later on, but I wanted to start off talking about the best stuff, and his best stuff certainly is that 2019 tape. There's no denying that. Anyways, let's go on to a play like this, where again, I want to see how is he doing in one-on-one matchups. Does he win in one-on-one matchups consistently? And again, doesn't necessarily matter if the ball comes his way or not. If the ball does come his way, you want to make sure he can, do something with it. But even if the ball doesn't come his way, sometimes a corner doesn't give up many yards, but they were giving up separation the whole time. The quarterback just didn't see them. Anyways, what you're going to see on this play, so I'm highlighting Stingley and his one-on-one matchup here. Again, you see the receiver is going to get the outside leverage. So leverage is important. This typically means when you get the outside leverage, you're going to be running a go route. Can he blow by Stingley? Well, the answer is just no. He clearly can't. Stingley can run with him. So that's kind of a great aspect to have in a corner, and kind of just what makes it so difficult when you're going up against a guy like Stingley is he is someone who is just, quite frankly, he's fast, and it's hard to beat him. Even if you kind of get the leverage you want, it's going to be hard to beat him. And for NFL players, they are going to get the leverage they want sometimes. They are going to get, a little bit in position better than where you would like them to be as a corner at times. That stuff always happens, so that's why speed becomes so important. Stingley has the speed. Now, let's go over to something like this. So we're now in 2021 tape, and I mentioned that he will miss some tackles. This is going to be an example of it where I've circled him on the field here. And as you see, I'm not going to break down this whole play, but you're just going to see if you follow him, he is not going to be able to really get into this play. When he finally does, he does not make the tackle at all. So again, he will miss some tackles. And also, I should mention, yes, he's wearing number 7 now. He had a number change, which also kind of can get a little confusing. But yeah, mental note, he is now wearing number 7 on all of these plays. But, that happens. He will miss some tackles. He's not the best tackler. But again, he's getting drafted to cover, not to tackle. A play like this might be one of the ways that I can see him having some issues. I almost feel like he is so good at coming back when he gets out of position. Sometimes he's just a little bit late and will get beat immediately at certain points. And this is an example where, it's going to be a one-on-one matchup once again. He is crossing that route that's going over the middle. And again, as you see, right when this play begins, when the offensive player kind of cuts, Stingley is just out of position and isn't able to get over and make that play, which you would have liked to see him make the play. Also then goes on to miss the tackle, giving up a touchdown. So not an ideal play. And you can certainly look at this and say, oh, better not draft Stingley that high then, right? I mean, that's an issue. I don't think it's that bad. I think that these are some small errors that he can improve upon. But again, he would give up separation at times. That is something that would happen, especially over the middle. It wouldn't happen consistently. It's not concerning to me, but it did happen. And there were also stuff like this. This is still 2021 tape, so this is still most recent tape because I wanted to show some most recent tape because the narrative is always, well, he was great in 2019, but since then, not so much. Like, no, he's got some really good stuff on tape even last year. I think that if 2019 didn't exist and we only had this tape, he's still getting drafted. Like, he still had some really good tape in 2021. The way this play works is it's quarters coverage. He is covering that white zone right there. And so the route that you see on the screen, a route that's going to be kind of underneath it a little bit, can really work against this type of coverage, right? It's going to be into a gap in coverage, and watch what happens. As you see, right when this play begins, you do notice that there is a window to make this throw. Stingley not really doing anything wrong. I mean, maybe he could have read this play earlier, but regardless, he's in this spot largely due to just scheme and due to a good play call more than anything else. But this is where the value of Derek Stingley comes through. Watch him come all the way back to still be able to knock the ball away and create that incompletion. He was able to come back. And like I said, that's what speed does for you. It allows you to come back, and that's what he can do. And that's why I do think that he is a very good prospect. And then finally, something like this. What's going to happen on this play? It's just a one-on-one matchup. It's a go route. Watch what happens. As you see, right when this play begins, so again, the receiver is going to try to get the outside leverage. Stingley is right with him. This is not a throw that you should make, but what happens when the quarterback tries you anyways? This ball does go in that direction, and Derek Stingley has no issue getting the interception. Just a good play by Stingley, and that's what he can do, is if you do try him in scenarios like this, it's not a great idea. He can run with anyone, and that's a huge benefit. He still does have all the other good physical tools, and it's why he's a very talented player, in my opinion. So yeah, I mean, listen, like I said, there's a lot to like about Stingley. In terms of how he fits in with the Texans, Lovie Smith historically likes to play a lot of this, cover two zone, and if that's what he's playing, then Stingley might not be asked to, he might not have to be in a situation where he's just on an island. He's not going to be this Darrelle Revis type guy, because that's not even the system he's going to play. And it's funny because, Lovie Smith famously got rid of Darrelle Revis because he didn't love the scheme fit. Now he's getting a guy who is not Darrelle Revis, but kind of has a similar skill set. So it's definitely an interesting fit. Maybe this means Lovie Smith has finally said maybe cover two zone consistently isn't the best way to go. Do some other stuff. I don't know. It's very interesting, but I really like the player. I think it's a great pick. I think that he's worthy of a top 3 overall pick. Is he like the next guy on my board? No, but again, I like him, so I'm not mad at this pick whatsoever. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.